Hi guys, good morning. This is Kuya Linox and welcome to my small channel. Hello. Ngayon ay magre-reaction tayo dito sa video ng bilyonaryo. Ako ng video nyo ha. Wag nyo po akong i-copyright. Salamat po. Okay, mag-reaction tayo.
Kongresista ang pag-asang mapapauwi pa si FPRRD. Git nila na sa ICC na ang bola. Yan ang agenda report ni Joan Manalo.
Wala na raw sa kamay ng gobyerno ang kapalaran ni FPRRD dahil ang ICC na ang magpapasya rito. Ito ang komento ng ilang kongresista sa plano ng Duterte-aligned senators na magsampa ng resolution calling for the former president's immediate repatriation. Para kay ML Party List Representative Laila de Lima, political posturing na lang ito.
Wala na ho sa kapangyarihan ng gobyerno natin na pabalikin siya. Kasi yung isang international tribunal, which is the ICC with competent jurisdiction over the alleged crimes, the crimes against humanity, at nakuha na nga siya, kasi naaresto nga siya, legally, validly, ay nandun na sa kanila.
Dagdag pa niya, hindi na
Yung sinasabi ni Congressman De Lima na wala na sa Pilipinas yung kumbaga wala ng karapatan ang Pilipinas na pabalikin or pauwiin si PRRD. Siguro may point siya doon, ano? Pero ang purpose kasi nitong joint yung resolution, no, na ginagawa ng Senate is para i-express yung kanilang grievance, no, which is according to their rules also. Pwede silang mag-express ng kanilang grievance, no. Ngayon, tungkol dito sa yung sinasabi niya na wala na sa Pilipinas ang power, para sa akin, ano, opinion ko lang to. Kasi di ba ang Pilipinas ang nag-surrender kay PRRD sa ICC? Kasi kung hindi naman nakipagtulungan ang Philippine government sa ICC, hindi nila makukuha si PRRD. So, kung babawiin ng Philippine government yung pag-surrender nila kay PRRD, babawiin nila through a diplomatic approach, so pwede siguro, di ba? Kumbaga parang sinurrender namin itong kababayan namin, ngayon binabawi na namin. Dito na namin siya lilitisin sa bansa namin in a diplomatic way. Siguro pwedeng pakinggan ng ICC. Kasi nga hindi na tayo member ng ICC. Wala na silang jurisdiction sa atin. So pwedeng mangyari yun kung papayag ang Philippine government na makikipag-usap sila sa ICC na kung pwedeng bawiin na namin si PRRD at dito na lang namin sila lilitisin. So, yun yung nakikita ko na pwedeng mangyari. Although wala na tayong power doon sa ICC, pero siguro pwede in diplomatic way kung papayag ang Philippine government.
napakikinggan ng ICC ang anumang sasabihin ng domestic authorities tungkol kay FPRRD dahil may sarili itong batas.
They can take note of those, but they cannot grant Hindi nila pwedeng pagbigyan yung mga ganyang mga usapin na pabalikin nyo na. May proseso. It won't fly, in my opinion.
Ganyan din ang posisyon ni Bicol Saro Party List Representative Terry Ridon.
They are free, obviously, to do a Senate resolution, but you have to be very frank. It is not within the power of the Philippine government to send the former president back home.
Si Acti
Hello? Hello? O yun yung sinasabi natin na tangang wala na sa power ng Philippine government na pabalikin si PRRD. Pero pwede naman sa diplomatic way. Kasi sila yung nag-surrender eh. So pwede nilang bawiin yun. Tuloy natin.
Teachers Party List Representative Antonio Tino naman, sinabing baka assurance na lang ito para panatilihing buhay
Puro
ang
party list.
pantasya ng mga taga-suporta ng
Yung mga
dating Pangulo.
Kung
Yung mga
magpapakatotoo tayo,
comment.
real talk, ika nga, hindi naman mangyayari yon yung kagyat na maibalik si Pangulong Duterte dahil nga seryoso ang mga kasong nakasampa sa kanya, yung crimes against humanity, particular taking drug war, malakas ang ebidensya.
Pirmado ni na Senators Bongo at Bato de la Rosa ang resolusyon na naglalayong pauwiin agad si FPRRD sa bansa. Pero hindi pa ito naihahain ni Senator Robin Padilla.
Ayun guys, oh. Yun yung mga Congress na pumapalag doon sa resolution na ginawa nila Senator Robin, ni Senator Bato, tsaka ni Senator Bongo. So yun nga, yung sa opinion ko, pwede naman siguro na magkaroon ng diplomatic approach ang Philippine government sa ICC na bawiin nila si PRRD kasi sila yung nag-surrender eh. Hindi naman nila makukuha si PRRD kung walang basbas sa Philippine government, di ba? Reaction na natin to guys, oh. Itong isang interview sa side dito sa ICC, no?
Meantime, prosecutors filed another batch of evidence against Duterte in time for his confirmation of charges hearing slated next month. Let's get on point with the executive director of the Center for International Law and an accredited lawyer of the International Criminal Court, or ICC, Attorney Gilbert Andres. Attorney, good evening to you. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for your time.
Good evening, Pinky, and to your televiewers, straight from The Hague, the Netherlands.
Yes, I wanted to actually start with that to give the audience a bit of information where you are at the moment. You've been in The Hague for almost a year. Would that be true?
Yes, Pinky, I've been here in the Netherlands so that I can prepare better for this case. So I've been here since last year.
And exactly what are you doing, or how are you part of the case?
Well, we've been representing victims of the Philippine war on drugs since 2016. In fact, we represented them before the Philippine Supreme Court. We challenged actually the constitutionality of the Tokhang, Oplan Tokhang, and the Oplan Double Barrel before the Philippine Supreme Court, which is still pending before the Philippine Supreme Court. And we've also represented victims before the different processes of the ICC.
How many victims are you representing, attorney?
Well, unfortunately, Pinky, that's the question I cannot really divulge the answer to, because the context is it's an international crime that is being charged against Mr. Duterte, and due to the heightened security risk, the victims cannot really be disclosed, especially the number of victims.
Really?
Bakit hindi pwedeng i-disclose yung quantity? Siguro naiintindihan ko kung identity ang i-disclose, yun hindi talaga pwede. Pero kung quantity lang, kahit approximation lang, bakit hindi pwedeng i-disclose, no? Sabi niya, due to security reason, nung panahon na president si PRRD, wala naman siyang hinaras no, na individuals or personality. Ngayon pa kaya na nakakulong siya or may edad, matanda na siya. So tingin ko wala nang ganun na power si PRRD para mangharas, ano, or gumawa ng hindi maganda doon sa mga complainants.
Lalabas ho ba siya eventually sa if a trial actually happens? Will we be able to find out during the course of the trial, again if it happens, how many victims will form part of this trial against the former president?
Well, there will be emblematic cases. In fact, we already have a view of the emblematic cases. There were 43 in the application for arrest warrant. And then in the document containing charges, we will also see the emblematic cases that will show the crimes against humanity. Actually, Pinky, it was filed by the Office of the Prosecutor last Friday, July the 4th, except that due to the heightened security risks, there are processes called redaction.
Opo.
So I think it's still being redacted. That's why there's still no publicly available redacted version of the document containing charges.
Hello? Yung sinasabi niya, guys, na redaction, yan yung ine-edit nila yung document bago i-publish sa website or i-disclose in public. Tinatago nila yung mga confidential information doon sa cases for security reason. Yan yung redacted na sinasabi nila, no? I-hide or i-conceal yung mga confidential na pwedeng maglagay sa kapahamakan doon sa mga complainants and release. Tuloy natin.
I understand that I was looking into this and you were quoted as saying that a couple of days ago, in time, this should be part or parcel. This is something we can look at in the website of the ICC. And upon checking, wala pa rin po akong nakita.
Yes, it's true, Pinky. I actually said that. But we also received confirmation that it's already been filed, except that it's now in the process of being redacted because there might be some sensitive info, such as the name of the potential in-person witnesses, as well as the documents that might actually identify some victims or witnesses.
Hello?
I see.
Wala pa daw sa ICC website yung documents. Sabi nitong abogado ng prosecution, nasa redaction process. So ini-edit nila at itatago nila yung mga sensitive information. Pero ang tagal na, no? Kailan pa nila final yung case na yan? I think siguro mga February or last year pa. So hanggang ngayon hindi pa nila na-finalize kung ano yung i-disclose nila in public.
Attorney, let's try to understand this stage of what is the right term? This stage of the pre-trial? Would it be called a pre-trial already?
Yes, you're right on that, Pinky. This is still the pre-trial. We're not yet on the trial stage. And what will happen on September 23 will be the confirmation of charges. What will be determined on September 23 during the confirmation of charges is whether or not this pre-trial should proceed to trial proper. So
Okay.
it's correct to say that we are still on pre-trial stage.
Which actually is a little bit confusing for me because I do understand this is something we've been talking about in the past through various interviews that September 23 will possibly be the time we will see the former president again since March. And on September 23, that will be the confirmation of charges. As a lay person, I would think that yung confirmation of charges ay ikukumpirma ang charges laban sa dating Pangulo. Pero actually, this is the stage where it is going to be discovered if the trial shall proceed. Tama ho, Attorney?
Yes, Pinky. In fact, you're not alone, Pinky, in that confusion, since even lawyers find it confusing because this is a special litigation.
Hello? So, sa September 23, dun malalaman kung itutuloy pa yung trial against PRRD. So, pagdidibatihan nila doon between the prosecution and the defense kung may merit o wala yung case.
It's actually under the Rome Statute. And if you look at the Rome Statute, it's actually an innovation that there are confirmation of charges. It's before trial so that the court will determine whether or not there is reasonable basis, there is grounds to believe that the charges should be confirmed and should proceed to trial. So it's less than a trial, okay? But it's more than the reading of the charges.
Yeah.
It's the burden of the prosecutor actually to show that this charges should really be continued on to trial proper.
Yeah, that's actually what I thought. I thought
Hello? So, very crucial yung September pre-trial. Kasi doon malalaman kung itutuloy.
it would be the reading of the charges because when one says confirmation of charges, ibig sabihin, uulitin o kukumpirmahin ang kaso laban kay dating Pangulo, which of course we know is an overarching theme, which is crimes against humanity. I'm going to get to that in a while, sir. Let's talk about the stage of the pre-trial as we speak. The ICC prosecutor, as you mentioned a while ago, has submitted documents containing the charges against former President Duterte. What exactly does this mean? That the documents containing the charges, hindi ho ba ang charge sa kanya ay crimes against humanity?
You're right on that, Pinky, but as to the specifics, whether or not it's only murder of crimes against humanity, or will it include arbitrary detention, illegal imprisonment? Will it include rape and other sexual and gender-based violence? Will it include torture, or will it include other inhumane acts? That's still to be seen when we will read the document containing charges. So, Pinky, the document containing charges, this is really the formal charges against Mr. Rodrigo Duterte. And if we try to compare and contrast it with our Philippine criminal domestic proceedings, dito kasi sa atin, sa Philippines, ang nauna po ay yung information. It's filed before the court, and then the court will issue an arrest warrant, and then the suspect or accused is arrested. Here in the ICC, it's the reverse. First, there's the application for arrest warrant, and
Hello? So, ganun pala ang ruling sa ICC, Mauuna yung arrest warrant bago yung information. Dito sa atin, information muna nung case, i-determine kung may probable cause, and then arrest warrant. So, baliktad.
and that application was actually granted, and there was an arrest warrant. Then Mr. Duterte was legally arrested based on that arrest warrant by the ICC. Then after that, that's when the prosecutor will file the document containing charges.
It's good you actually talked about that because as I was looking into how the process is in the ICC, it's the opposite of what we know. Again, Attorney, obviously you are correct saying that sa atin po, kailangan muna, parang baliktad nga po sa ICC. Sa ICC, nauuna ang, as we've seen, nauuna ang
Arrest warrant.
Opo,
oo.
tapos
And then the
aaresto
arrest.
rin,
Oo.
tapos yung charges po.
Maybe the context, Pinky, is that this is an international crime. So this is not a domestic crime. And there's actually a need to ensure that the suspect can appear personally before the ICC. That's why it's the arrest warrant which is issued first.
Hello? So, sa ICC, aarestuhin ka muna, saka ka ngayon babasahan ng charges. Pero siguro dapat hindi ka i-detain sa kulungan. Kasi nasa ano ka pa lang kumbaga nandun ka pa lang sa stage ng dinidetermine pa lang yung case mo, di ba? Kasi inaresto ka na kaagad Unlike dito sa atin, information muna bago arrest. Sa ICC, arrest muna bago information. Tapos it takes 6 months bago i-discuss kung may merit yung case, di ba? Parang medyo di ba? Tuloy natin.
Suspect or the respondent might be anywhere in the world. Kaya nauuna
Yes.
po yung arrest warrant. Okay. So,
You're correct on that.
balikan po natin, Attorney, no? So, si ICC prosecutor, ang ginawa po at this stage was that sinabmit po sa korte yung mga, tama ho ba, yung specific charges against former President Rodrigo Duterte.
Yes,
Okay.
it was actually filed. It was also filed as well as inter partes, meaning to say the defense was also provided as well as the OPCV. That's the Office of the Public Counsel for Victims, who's temporarily designated as the one representing the victims as of now. So these are the only parties who know about the document containing charges as well as the pretrial chamber.
Okay.
So let's await the publicly redacted version.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna see on the website. Again, for context of understanding
Yung
this,
redacted
meron
version.
pong prosecutor, yung po si ICC prosecutor, siya po ang nag-submit nitong charges against the former president in detail. Siguro over and above the overarching charge of crimes against humanity, which is the defense will be given a copy, and the OPCV. OPCV po, ito po yung lawyer ng mga biktima. And
For now,
at this
temporarily,
point, yes,
until the
it's not
legal
you.
representative it's not me. It's an in-house office of the ICC. Until the legal representative for victims is formally appointed by the pretrial chamber 1.
Let me ask you that, Attorney. Kailan ho ba ma-appoint yung legal representative for the victims? At what stage
Well,
does this happen?
The registry will actually submit a report to the pretrial chamber. In fact, the dates are available. They will submit it on August 20, wherein they will actually give a report, a summary of their consultation.
What about the interim release? Was there a point that the victims were asked about their response or reaction or any manifestation statement to the interim release filed by the defense?
You're right on that, Pinky, because the victims actually conveyed their views and concerns with regards to the application for interim release. We pass it on to the relevant office under the ICC. And in fact, the victims really were actually
Mga
shocked.
victims daw.
Nayanig po sila nung na-file po yung application for interim
Nandun
release.
si Father.
But I also want to emphasize that it's merely an application, but it's still it will still be up to the pretrial chamber based on their sound discretion whether or not to grant it or to deny it. And we hope that the pretrial chamber will actually deny it.
I know there's no telling, Attorney, but if you were to what are the possibilities, I guess, of the interim release decision being handed down prior to the confirmation of charges on September 23. Sa palagay niyo ho ba mangyayari ito bago yung confirmation of charges? Sa palagay niyo ho ba mangyayari ito during the confirmation of charges or sa palagay niyo ho ba after the confirmation of charges?
Well, we hope that it will be released before the confirmation of charges so that wala nang mga agam-agam pa. And in fact, if just based on jurisprudence of the ICC, we expect it to be actually dismissed, to be denied, because no application for interim release has been granted by the chambers of the ICC.
Has there been none?
If the charge is under Article 5, what's Article 5? Crimes against
Crimes against,
humanity, crimes against humanity, genocide, war crimes, crimes of aggression. It has only been granted on 2 instances, but for offenses against the administration of justice under Article 70. And that's not the case here for Mr. Duterte.
So ibig sabihin po, wala pa pong pinapayagan na magkaroon po ng release na na-charge na crimes against humanity. Would that be correct, sir?
Wala pa, Pinky. Oo. Kaya based on the jurisprudence, we hope na madi-deny po itong application for interim release.
What about a jurisprudence? What does that say with regards to a decision? Is a decision made
Hello? Nagtataka ako dito, no? Bakit crime against humanity yung kaso ni PRRD? Alam ko, yung crime against humanity, kaming volume ng tao ang tinatay or pinahirapan, no? Kagaya ng Holocaust. 'Di ba? Yung million Jews. Tapos yung sa China din, 'di ba? And then sa Cambodia, yung mga mass killing. Yan yung crime against humanity. Pero yung case ni PRRD kasi, war on drugs yun eh. Ang kalaban niya doon is mga kriminal. Dito sa mga victims sa war, yung mga mass killing, talagang purely civilian yun, di ba? Kumbaga pinatay mo yung walang kalaban-laban. So yun, pwedeng crime against humanity talaga yon, genocide. Pero yung war on drugs, paano mo patutunayan na hindi lumaban yung mga napatay? Kasi pag lumaban yun, talagang may chance sila na mamamatay sila. Kasi kalaban nila, otoridad eh. So kung may mga napatay man, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na crime against humanity. Di ba? Kasi mga kriminal yun eh. Oh. May mga instances na napatay yung civilian kagaya nung Ian, di ba? Yung case ni Ian De Los Santos ba yun? Pero na-convict yung mga pulis na involved dun. Di ba? So hindi maiiwasan na magkaroon talaga ng yung aksidente during the operation of drug of war or war on drugs. So yun yung pinagtataka ko, bakit crime against humanity, ano? Natin.
prior to the confirmation of charges, or is it made during or after?
Well, it can be before, oo. In fact, there's also another pending issue, Pinky, the jurisdictional challenge. Oo. Actually, that's what we are really monitoring.
Yun yung matinding labanan dito, guys. Yung jurisdictional challenge. Conviction ba yung ICC or wala? So, pagdidibatihan yan ng mga abogado, legal and prosecution.
Because it's the first issue, whether the pretrial chamber has jurisdiction. So we also expect that to be decided upon maybe last week of August, first week of September, but we still have to see that.
Let's siguro list down, attorney, yung mga pending. There's a question on jurisdiction that the ICC has no jurisdiction over the former president.
Yes.
And then
there's a
there's
question.
Sorry, sir, go ahead.
There's the jurisdictional challenge, and then there's the application for interim release. Fortunately, there was another.
Dalawa yung pending issues na pag-uusapan nila, no, yung jurisdictional challenge, tsaka yung interim release. Ongoing yung discussion.
Law na isa po ay nasagot na last week, and even the disqualification of those two judges, one of three, umabot po yun sa tinatawag na plenary of judges, to which my understanding was it was a unanimous decision not to grant this disqualification being asked by the defense on grounds that there is no bias. There's no actual bias.
Yes, sir, you're right on that, Pinky. So we're still awaiting for the decision on the two other issues.
Jurisdiction and interim release. Attorney, yung question on jurisdiction, before anything else or before even the confirmation of charges, does that need to be decided on prior to the September 23 confirmation of charges? Or can that also happen after the confirmation of charges?
I think it's logical to be decided before the confirmation of charges, because remember, jurisdiction is the power and authority of the court to hear and decide cases. So that should be the primordial issue. And any court, for that matter, anywhere in the world, has the competence to decide on its competence. In French, competence de la competence. In German, competence. So that's the power and authority of the pretrial chamber that is now deciding whether or not it has jurisdiction.
Why would the question on jurisdiction be brought up, or be decided on rather, not be brought up? That is the right of the defense. But why would it be decided on by the pretrial chamber, who actually, please correct me if I'm wrong, sir, agreed to issue an arrest warrant against the former president? Ibig ko sabihin, kung ikaw ang nag-issue ng pumayag na magkaroon ng arrest warrant, bakit magkakaroon ng desisyon, even for that court, to say wala kaming jurisdiction, kayo nga ang nagbigay ng arrest warrant?
Well, it's
No, yung sinasabi ni Pinky, bakit magkakaroon ng argument about jurisdiction, kung yung ICC ang naglabas ng warrant. No, ibig sabihin sa side ng ICC meron silang jurisdiction. 'Di ba? Tapos ngayon, bakit nagkakaroon ng argument? So there's something wrong dun sa nangyari. Pakinggan natin.
It's always contingent, Pinky. Any arrest warrant is always contingent on any challenge to the jurisdiction, which is a separate issue. And in fact, the defense filed this jurisdictional challenge. So it's incumbent upon the pretrial chamber to determine once and for all whether or not it has jurisdiction. And our position is that indeed it has jurisdiction, Pinky, and it's very rare. In fact, it has not happened that a international criminal tribunal has divested itself of jurisdiction.
Has it happened before, though, that they actually said they have no
happened.
jurisdiction?
It was an issue in Prosecutor versus Eichmann in the Jerusalem Criminal Court. It was dismissed. The jurisdictional challenge was denied. It was challenged in the ICTY, International Criminal Court for the former Yugoslavia. It was denied. It was challenged before the Special Tribunal for Lebanon. It was also denied. So if you look at the precedents of the International Criminal Tribunals, we hope and we expect this also to be denied by the pretrial chamber.
Basically, you're saying all questions on jurisdiction have been denied by the ICC.
by the ICC as well as by other international criminal tribunals.
All right. Just on a last note, Attorney, the health of the former president, sinabi po ng kanyang asawa, si Elizabeth Zimmerman, na butot balat na lang daw si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. In a situation like this, should an interim release even be considered?
We're trying to be very technical about it. The health of the suspect is not one of the grounds whether or not to grant a interim release. In fact, the reason for that is that the ICC provides all the necessary facilities as well as access to medical facilities because it gives a primordial respect for the health of the suspect. So it should not be a primordial reason.
Yun, sinasabi niya rito na hindi raw pwedeng gawing grounds yung health ni PRRD para i-grant yung interim release. So, inaasikaso naman daw ng ICC yan. Meron silang medical team na nag-handle dun sa health ni PRRD at obligasyon nila yon. Pero on the other hand, kasi kapag may nangyaring di maganda kay PRRD, pananagutan ng ICC yan. Nasa batas nila yan. So dapat talaga is gawin nila yung the best for medical treatment, yung health treatment ni PRRD. So hanggang dito na lang muna, guys. Share and subscribe to my small channel. Tulungan niyo po ako. At gagawa pa tayo ng mga maraming content. At i-improve natin, no? Kasi nag-uumpisa pa lang ako eh. I-improve natin yung ating mga content. No? So, salamat. And bye-bye. Thank you. Peace.